Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Van Noorn and this is another Dragonheir Silence God video. Guys, I'm back on the test server, and if you see my camera lagging, that's the reason. For some weird reason, every time I come over here, after a while the camera starts lagging. So let's try to be quick and sweet on this one. We have finally on the test server two things that everybody is looking forward to play: the rage mode for the Vortex and the continental challenges, the bosses, the chief shadow bosses that we're gonna have to face for the petal event to obtain Calavera. And so today we're gonna dive into all of this, and we're gonna start seeing details of what is happening and what we can prepare for. So I'm probably gonna break this video in two parts. This one will be for the chief bosses, and one coming out today also, maybe 1 hour apart, is going to be for the Vortex. So let's start from the bosses and let's have a look at the Dance of Misfortune event. As you can see, the structure is pretty much the same that it has been for the previous 3 seasons. We have points obtainable from the dungeons, so it's going to be events spread out throughout the entirety of the event, where we get to farm dungeons, and from each of the single dungeons separately we're going to have basically 15 points, and we're going to be able to collect 90 points from there to summon the legendary champions. Then it's going to be 60 points for the dice. These are the one that I'm probably going to try to hold the most towards the end, because if you're able to rank on the boss's damage every single week, you probably can get away with summoning less or even summoning none of them. But for most players, this is going to be necessary to summon at least 20 or 40 dice to get the champions for sure. And so obviously this one is going to be on a normal banner. If you have your PT system built up, your PT numbers built up, you're gonna be able to get 1 or 2 legendary. So it's good during the season to get some pulls and get some extra legendary. But then the parts that everybody's more interest is obviously the bosses, and we're gonna have, as usual, 6 bosses, as you can see over here, taking damage from the different affinity. And when you do 22 millions, you get 5 petals for each boss. The first week is going to be 3 of them. Then you ramping up 3, 4, 5, and 6 for the last week. And so with all the bosses, if we eat 22 millions every single time, we're going to be able to get basically 90 points over there, plus the ranking, which is obviously rewarding you with even more petals depending on where you rank up here. And so that helps a little bit with the dice. And then you get also some mythical gear depending on what you place, or legendary gear by the look of it. No, it's still mythical, but yeah, that's pretty much what you can get. We see that someone here already trying to test the bosses. Let's have a look at the bosses one by one, and we're actually going to do that from the map, which makes it easier. We have the challengings over here, and see the Continental Challenge are back to be normal champions in the game. They're not different bosses like they were last time, which they're actually different skins, but then were actually normal bosses or champions in the game. This time they gone for the old fashion way, what we had for the first 2 seasons, where the bosses were actually champion picked up from the list of normal champions. We're gonna have Ithir, Quesitia, Rook, Shinna, Ascetius, and Fathom down. So let's start in order. Let's go to Ithis, which take damage from necrotic. So if the skills are not changed, he's gonna summon clones on himself, and it's gonna be quite annoying. We're fighting if it's with necrotic damage, so most likely it's going to be either summoners or shadow. If you are lucky to have Ozo or Asphalta, which are the 2 best DPS for that affinity. Let's see what it does. Again, the bosses, for every 60 times of damage dealt or taken by the hero and his clone summons a clone. As the battle starts, summons a clone, up to 2 clones on the battlefield at the same time. So we're going to have to deal with 2 clones, which is okay. 2 clones only, which is not too bad. Immune to control effect, as always. And then there is more, I think. There is another one, which is obviously the build-up damage they do every time they run their ultimate. The battle skills every 6 seconds. Place a clone near the enemy with the highest attack. Okay, we can control this one, obviously. We can get it around our main DPS. Deal radiant damage to nearby enemy with the clone as the center, with a 100% chance of inflicting taunt of them for 3.5 seconds. And this is going to repeat twice. And then the ultimate jumps at the target area, so it's going to move around, and it's quite annoying when they do that. And deal radiant damage to enemy with range, with a 75% chance of inflicting attack penalty on them for 10 seconds. But this we can drive around where the boss is going, basically, because it's going to try to hit the most enemy, I think. Meanwhile, the hero gains attack speed up 2 for 10 seconds and enhances basic attack for 12 seconds. In this period, basic attacks deal radiant damage to enemy twice and heal the hero and all the clones. Now we can probably stop the attack speed up and the heal separately. Champion that comes to mind might be Thea, for example, because he's going to try to hit our range and give attack penalty 2. Thea will put the debuff immunity, invisibility, and heal reduction on the boss. So she might come handy, but it's early to say, so I'm not going to speculate too much. He's going to be annoying with the 2 clones, but maybe we can deal with it, and it's not going to be too crazy of a challenge. The next boss is going to be Kesitia, and she takes poison damage. So if you have Rook, obviously you're way better, in a better position than anybody else. And let's have a look at her. We all know her kit, but let's have a look at what she does here. There is a 50% chance of inflicting recharge speed penalty on the attacker for 5 seconds when taking damage. This effect can only be triggered once every 3 seconds. The hero takes 30% decreased damage from basic attack. Then she is immune to control. And the hero gains stackable damage as always. The battle skills repeat twice. Drag the farthest enemy towards the hero. So this is going to be interesting. Inflicting necrotic damage with a 75% chance of inflicting fear and knockup for 3 seconds. Meanwhile, has a 75% chance of inflicting eating prohibition. Very annoying. Maybe we can put a far champion with resistance, and it's going to resist the drag, is going to resist everything. Maybe we can play around with that. This is going to happen twice. We don't want the healing prohibition on any of our champions, so we need to find a way to deal with that. And her ultimate obviously launched 3 attacks to the targets, each dealing necrotic damage to enemy with range, and reduce their ultimate energy by 10%. There is a 100% chance for the 3rd attack of inflicting knocked on the target, and a 100% chance of inflicting attack penalty 2. Maybe we can hide our damage dealer somewhere. We're gonna have to bring poison damage, so we have to do something with range most likely. It's gonna be quite annoying to deal with her. The recharge speed penalty is gonna make it difficult to speed tune. I don't know. Let's see what we can do with this one. And obviously, if you have idea for any of the bosses, I'm happy to hear your feedback in the comments down below. I also gonna have on my Discord channels for each of these bosses, where we're gonna have a discussion with all the players over there, talking about how to try to do them and theorycraft for the next week, so I can test those theory on the test server and come to you with a better strategy before the bosses are opening on the actual server where we play. The 3rd boss is gonna be Rook, and I already hate the idea. He's gonna take radiant damage, so aura or rally for us, and we're gonna have to deal with his corrosion. So source of corrosion, inflict 10% attack corrosion on all enemies every 0.5 seconds. This is gonna stack up quite quickly. Immune to control's effect and stack up his damage. His battle skill, summon a giant rat to strike enemy with range, dealing poison damage. Deal additional poison damage once for enemy 30,000 corrosion on the target. Ignore their enemy shields. summon a giant rat to strike again, and then the ultimate, cast the spell 3 times, which each spell is dealing poison damage to enemy with range. Deal additional poison damage once for every 30 tiles of corrosion on the target. Ignore the enemy shield. Now, so this is going to be annoying. I still don't know how we're going to deal with the corrosion. If we can remove it with healing, overhealing. There are some artifacts that helps with that. I don't think I can think about anything else at the moment. I just don't like the champion. I don't like how it works normally for players, and I'm not looking forward to play this boss at all, to be honest. The next champion up is going to be the one that takes more damage from fire, and is going to be Sheena. Last season we had Sheena in the skies, so she was doing like radiant ability instead of her frost ability normally. So let's have a look. Ignore the target 35% defense when attacking an enemy inflicted with frost. So resisting the frost is going to be important over here, or blocking it or removing it. Immune to all control effect. And the hero gains stackable attack damage bonus permanently as all the bosses on the battle skill. Shoot frost projectiles at 3 enemy, dealing cold damage and inflicting frost for 5 seconds. Prioritize attacking enemy not inflicted with frost, and this is gonna happen twice, so we're gonna have to cover this to and avoid the frost to not get basically a lot of problems with her ignoring the defense. And then on her ultimate, cast the spells for 6 seconds, during which deal cold damage to a random enemy every 0.6 seconds with a 50% chance of inflicting frost for 5 seconds. Also very annoying. Fire has very little capability to cleanse and block buff. It's a very rare skills. I can't even think about anyone now that I'm thinking about, to be honest. We might have to resource to someone from poison, and at the moment we don't have Calavera, which is probably the best one to do cleansing. We have Vikak. I don't think it's gonna be that effective, but we have to test around. So we obviously have to slow down the boss and try to deal with least as possible of his rotation. Sounds very annoying on paper. I am still 6 a.m. here, so I'm struggling at the moment to think about solutions, but we're gonna test this in the next few days. The next boss up is going to be Ascatius, and is gonna take lightning damage. This is interesting. The boss have basic attack, deal additional fire damage to enemy in 3 adjacent tiles in front of the hero. In addition, basic attacks have 50% chance of inflicting 1 stack of burn on the enemy for 10 seconds. That it's annoying as hell. He's immune to control, and he builds his damage up. Deal fire damage to enemy within range, and inflict 2 stacks of burn for 10 seconds, and that is in his surrounding. So what we can do is trying to keep it at range with one of our tank. Build resistance or ways to resist the flames, because when he gets the flames, he's gonna basically do more damage and speed up. In theory, it doesn't have that same passive over here by the look of it, but we're gonna have to have a tank resisting the flames for sure. And then this is repeated twice, obviously, and the ultimate dispels all enemy burns, and so resisting those or removing those in time will be very important, and deal fire damage to enemy. Then blast all enemy with each enemy as the center, dealing additional fire damage to surround enemies. So we have to space them out. For each stack of burn previously dispels from the enemy, the damage dealt is increased by 10%. We can obviously bring someone like Fatendam to slow him down. We're gonna bring someone like Nathaniel, I'm supposing, to basically remove and cleanse the burns out as fast as possible. We can possibly deal with him better than other affinity bosses. It's still gonna be annoying. He hits really hard, and so we're gonna have to find some way to stay away from the burn. And then the last one is going to be none other than Fathom Down from the lightning, and it's gonna take more cold damage So our good Ice Blast and Frost champions over here. Let's see the passive. There is a 20% chance of reducing the damage taken by 20% and inflict attack penalty 1 on the attacker for 5 seconds when taking damage. This effect can only be triggered once every 10 seconds. This is quite annoying, but it's okay, I guess. Immune to control effect and stacks up his damage on his battle skills. Gain accuracy bonus 1 for 5 seconds, dealing lightning damage to enemy within range with a 100% chance of inflicting knockup and 75% chance of inflicting stun. Not fun at all, happening twice. And the ultimate, obviously, cast a spell for 8 seconds, summon lightning bolt to strike random enemy every 1 second. In the meantime, dealing lightning damage to targets and all enemies nearby with a 35% chance of inflicting attack penalty 1, accuracy penalty 1 actually, and on them for 5 seconds, reducing the ultimate energy by 5%. So they change this kit up pretty much with all the others as well. They slightly tweak the kit. It's not doing the attack reduction, it's not getting the immunity up, which is good. We're gonna have to bring our best cold damage over here and trying to deal with that stun, to be honest, which is a bit annoying. We have gear though that can help with that this time. It's gonna slow down us, but it's mythical gear and this early in the season is gonna be difficult. I don't know, guys. What do you guys think? What do you think are the bosses from the read through that are going to be easier to theory craft and build a team for? I am quite concerned about Rook, honestly, and most of him. Ifir is going to be annoying with the clones, but maybe we can deal with them if they are not too, if they don't have too much HP. Kessitia is always annoying as usual. But I guess we can deal with her. Shina and Ascetius as well. There are ways to deal with those abilities. Maybe Fire, it's not the best pairing for Shina. But Mika maybe comes up with something that will work. I'm curious to see what you guys think. I'm going to keep an eye on the comments. And as always, if you want to jump on the Discord, the link is in the description. I'm going to start theory crafting with all the people over there on the bosses as soon as this hits live. I'm looking forward to see your comment. This is everything for this video. Look forward for the ones for the Vortex Rage mode. It's going to come up soon. And if you don't want to miss out, as always, consider liking, subscribing to the channel and turn on that notification bell. 65% of you watching are still not subscribed. It will help the channel a good deal if you consider doing so. And this is everything. Until the next video, have fun.